Welcome in, everybody, to TV Sports 27. As promised, we are back for one more streaming session here today. We went 2 hours with you guys with Mario Wonder and some F-Zero 99. We just got done watching some NFL games. My Broncos finally won a game. Cardinals, not so much. And we're jumping back into our NFL 2K5 action with the Washington Commanders. So we are 1-4, and we got the Chicago Bears up next. We'll peek at the schedule as we've been doing every single time we play. We have yet to score more than 7 points. We have yet to hit the illustrious 10-point mark here this season. It's been rough. It has been really rough. And we have said that this, going into the bye week, is going to be the last game for Mark Bulger. If Bulger can't get this thing going, can't turn the ship around, I think we're going to go to J.P. Lossman the rest of the way. And it does not get any easier except maybe that last game of the season. So at the Chicago Bears, Washington Commanders, I don't think we got any. This is all a 1985 NFC Championship rematch, right? I don't think any fancy uniform stuff that we need to do. These are two pretty traditional classic, unless we want to do an all blue or an orange for the Bears. I think we go with the classic, and same thing, shuffle around. Let's see what we got here for different options. See if there's anything different we want to do. There's a part of me that wants to switch to these unis, but then the R wouldn't make sense because we're the Washington Commanders. So that wouldn't do any good for us. Those are the same unis right there, but with the arrowhead look. And I like those. They kind of remind me of USC a little bit. The Trojans with that on there. I suppose that is one department we could go to one day. That's kind of our throwbacks that we've been wearing. So we'll just go classic style here. All right, let's listen to Chris Berman. He's going to get you guys all started for the big game.
Aloha, I'm Chris Berman, and coming up on ESPN, dare to draw up a blueprint for beautiful football weather. This has got to be it. Picture perfect autumn day for football. Some leaves outside the stadium. Dan, Peter, Susie, they're there to enjoy it. Redskins, Bears, next.
And look at all the happy tailgaters as they get set to cheer for the hometown team. Hi, folks, it's Dan Stevens, and welcome to Chicago Field. And with me in the booth, as always, my cohort and friend, Peter O'Keefe. Peter, I was looking at the team rosters, and both teams have explosive return men on their squad.
Well, that's true, Dan, and if they can produce as they're capable of, this could be a high-scoring game. Tim Dwight, he's a very capable return man. You know, they say playing hard is the best way to avoid injury, and this guy is Exhibit A. You know, he plays...
Boy, Tim Dwight, I haven't heard that name in forever. As a Broncos fan, that was the kick returner when we battled the Falcons in Super Bowl 33. For those of you that might be tuning in for the first time, we go with the original aspect ratio. I'm playing on an honest-to-God Xbox 360. Using the Xbox version of the game, so you got some black bars on the side, but it's the true blue aspect ratio. I could blow it up bigger, but then we are running into issues with things being cropped and whatnot, so this is the true aspect ratio, and Mark Bulger going out there. We got Matt Hasselbeck across the field from him, and you know what? We're going to switch it up today. I want the ball first. I don't want to play behind. I want to get it first. I want to go out there. And if you're tuning in for the first time and you want to keep up with the action, there's all the different ways you can help support TB Sports 27. Follow us on Twitch, subscribe at YouTube, Patreon, Streamlabs, and all that fun stuff. So here we go. A last effort for Mark Bulger. Can he turn his season around and get 10 points? That's all we're asking for. We're asking for 10 points. We had a lively discussion as well on Twitter. If you're not following us on Twitter, we had a pretty lively discussion during which actually kind of it was a good discussion, but it kind of made me miss a little bit of the end of the Broncos game because I was looking at that so much. But we'll touch on that as we go on with this stream here today. But I invited the person that we were having the discussion with to join us on this live stream to maybe chat with us and kind of expand on their thoughts and what we were talking about here. So, Bulger, quick pass to Javar Gaffney. There we go. I like that. Quick plug as well, Patreon supporters, you know them, you love them. We shout them out at the beginning of every single video that we do here. Thank you guys so much for your support. You guys are the best. I gotta start looking at these teams' records before I go into the game, because I don't know, especially now as we're getting into more of the season here, to know how good these teams are. So I suppose that's something I can check afterwards as well, or maybe they'll show us some standings. But Chicago Bears fantasy draft style, ESPN NFL 2K5. Bulger trying to get rid of these passes a lot quicker. You're seeing maybe a different strategy here in this football game.
Maybe that's lucky since there were 2 defenders in that zone.
3rd and 8 for the Commanders, and what's been a decent, for their standards, opening drive and under pressure, which has been a big issue for the Commanders all season, and Bulger has to throw that one away, and what started off promising turns into a punting situation. So how the discussion came up, I don't know if you guys followed the Twitter page, Awful Announcing. They post like funny, interesting, weird, quirky things that happen in the world of sports announcing. And the Cleveland Browns, and Luna's going crazy. She wants to play fetch right now. The Cleveland Browns, and so this is when we are streaming this. Obviously, again, I mention this a lot, but for those of you that are watching on YouTube, the Super Bowl will have already happened by the time you're watching this. So we are streaming this on October 22nd. So that's why we always encourage you guys to join us live on Twitch or on Patreon to get the action as it happens. We're streaming here on the 22nd of October. This will come out on YouTube in February. And the Colts and Browns game went really, really long. It was a really good game, really high-scoring game between a couple of backup quarterbacks, but it went really long. So, like, the entire end of that game and the beginning of the next game on, I think it was CBS. It had to have been, because it's too, well, I guess they don't do the AFC, NFC rules. I think it was CBS. But they did the whole thing in a double box. And Awful Announcing posted, like, boy, 15 minutes fans were watching a double box of the end of this game and the beginning of another game. And it kind of reminded me of what happened the week before that. I was at my mom's house to watch the Buccaneers and Lions game. And same thing, there was a game, I don't remember what game it was now, but it had a really exciting ending. And they cut it off before we saw the end of the game because they had to go to the start of the local game, which is the Bucs and Lions game. Understandable. People in that market want to see I live in Florida. But I made the comment on Awful Announcing about the fact that, it'd be nice, like, boy, on college football, you tune into a college football Saturday. I've retweeted these schedules before. You have wall-to-wall games of college football. Fox, FS1, ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, CBS, NBC, NBC Sports, CBS Sports, like every channel imaginable. Dylan kind of put on the brace trying to bounce around, is airing a college football game all day. You can start college football at 12 noon and watch college football until 3 a.m. with Hawaii or Pac-12 games. Like, it's wall to wall. And so I made the comment. I said, boy, it'd be nice if the NFL, they love Sunday Ticket. I've always felt like it was kind of an out-of-date model. I was hoping once this contract with DirecTV ran out, it'd be something that they'd get rid of. But it would just, like, how awesome would it be on Sunday to tune in and have NFL on whatever channel you want? You're already paying $80, $90, $100 for cable TV anyway. Why is the NFL stuck with we're only going to put games on NBC. We're only going to put games on CBS. And you get 3 games and that's it. You get nothing else. Where it's like, man, like at most you have 8 games for an early start, right? On an NFL. Like ESPN, ESPN2, NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, FS1, CBS Sports. Like it's your 8 networks right there. And, you know, I'm not saying the CW, but like even the CW is airing college football games. And there's other networks out there. TBS, TNT, you know, airs sports. They air hockey and basketball, and TBS airs baseball and things like that. So I just made the comment. I was like, I can't believe in 2023 the NFL is fighting for airtime on their own networks. Like they're running out of time. One game goes long and the next game starts, rather than just having, you know, hey, go to CBS Sports for the start of this game, and then it'll, you know, like college football does. Or so that was basically my point. And it got into I didn't say heated, say a good discussion though on Twitter, where a person that's a big fan of the Olympics did not agree with that. And actually a couple different people, not everyone. I had a lot of likes on there, but we had a couple of people that disagreed with that. And one person was talking about was like, one of the reasons NBC doesn't get in there is NASCAR, and I kind of showed the NASCAR ratings versus NFL ratings. And then another gentleman that was making, you know, really good points on his end, but just points that for me I don't agree with, because I want more football on TV. And I kind of was saying, like, well, look at the Olympics. They are only on NBC, right? They're a one-station model, and their ratings have been awful, rather than, you know, how cool would it be? You tune in and you have the Olympics on all these different channels. You can watch, well, I don't know, basketball here. I don't know all the Olympics, different sports, but I don't watch the Olympics, so I'm part of the problem here. Look at this. Meanwhile, we're having one of the best drives while we're talking about this Twitter feud going on right now against the Chicago Bears. I've not tweaked any settings. No, nothing. All we know is Mark Bolger. He is on the hot seat here. But we've come out with a fury so far in this one. 1,000 yards for Mark Bolger, so there you go. And can we punch this one in? And we have the lead, which is rare. And we have the opportunity to get 10 points. Holy smokes.
Man, this is a nice little run here. A good job of slicing through the D and picking up the yards that he needed. I love to see fight like that on those shorter plays.
Great effort to get him.
Can we get 10 points? I don't know. Should I read some of these tweets? I invited the person to follow. I won't say their Twitter handle. I can read a couple of the tweets out, and I'm curious if you guys agree or disagree. I would think most people would agree that they would like more football on TV versus the Sunday ticket model. You know, it'd be less money. You'd have to... I don't know. So someone, another user, and I won't make this the entire topic of this video because that was not the intention, but it was something we were talking about, and I said, hey, let's, you know, instead of tweeting about it, I'm going live on Twitch right now. Jump in the chat if you want to talk with us and have this discussion over here. Happy to have it. This is the first guy. First guy came in and said, NFL makes $2 billion a year from Sunday Ticket. No way they're giving that up to have more games on TV. So I tweeted out the rights agreements, and maybe they would go down a little bit, right? But the rights agreements for Fox, they're paying $2.3 billion for the NFL. CBS is paying $2.1 billion. Oh my God, come on. Oh my God, of course. We had the best drive of our season, and then we let this happen. Oh my God, that's brutal. ESPN is paying $1.7 billion for one game, for one Monday Night Football game. They're paying that. Brian Westbrook, he's good. NBC is paying $2.2 billion for one game on Sunday Night Football. Now, it's the only game. They're not competing with a lot of games at one time, so I do get that, but one game. And Amazon is paying $1 billion for the Thursday Night Football package. So maybe if you opened it up and said, hey, we're going to sell a package to, Fox, you can have a Fox game and an FS1 game, but then we're going to let ABC and NBC and ESPN and ESPN2 air games. So you're going to have games run at the same. Maybe they're not paying $2 billion, but they're probably still paying $1 billion or $1.5 billion or something, right? So now you just went from Fox and CBS paying you $4 billion total to having 8 networks maybe paying $1 billion. You know what I mean? So I just kind of threw those numbers out there. It's like Sunday Ticket's making you $2 billion, and we're throwing out stupid numbers as well. Like, my God, $2 billion. Like, we're arguing over that. But it's like, oh, Bulger just gets rid of it. All right. Maybe me focusing on Twitter and not the game has been the best for this. What should we name the video? Is Sunday Ticket a dead model or something? People tune in. But yeah, so $2 billion for Sunday Ticket when you can realistically maybe, have to trim down your Fox and CBS monies down a little bit. But $2 billion for Sunday Ticket is nothing when ABC is paying that much money for one game, when NBC is paying that much money for one game, when Amazon is paying half of that, $1 billion for one game. And you're telling me that Sunday Ticket at $2 billion is worth that to you? Come on. So that's just my thought. I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts on that. And then this is when the guy replied and says, NBC already has NASCAR on Sundays. So they would, and then I said, well, NASCAR is bringing in 2 million viewers on NBC, and the NFL is bringing in, what did the tweet? The NFL is bringing in 27 million viewers for Sunday Night Football. So if that offer came up to NBC, hey, do you want an extra NFL game on Sunday afternoons? I have a feeling that they'd tell NASCAR to either pick a different day of the week or, I don't know, find a different time slot. Oh, T.O., come on, T.O. I thought we were over these drops here. So then here, and I'll kind of wrap this up because I think, once we get into the second half, we'll, try to focus more on this game, not to make it all about this, but I felt like an interesting discussion, and it relates to football here. 3rd and 10 for the Commanders, and there T.O. makes up for it. Hey, we're closing in. Let's take a pause real quick on the Twitter discussion. We are in field goal range, so whether or not we get a touchdown out of this or what, if we get a field goal, we would get 10 points for the first time this season. Mark Bulger playing very well and maybe very well saving his season here. That was terrible from Corey Dillon. So let's table the Twitter talk for a moment and see if we can't get 10 points out of this drive. Field goal kicking can be a little tough to come by in this game, so that does make me a little nervous. But anyway, as we say, if you're not following us on Twitter, you're missing the show because we're having good discussions, we're having good conversation. And so we encourage you guys to follow along with us on Twitter so you guys can chat with us and what have you. But I want to know your thoughts on, as a fan, I'm sure most fans would say, I love to have the NFL on every, oh my, $10 points just seems like a distant dream. I cannot believe that just happened. It's picked up by the defense and they hustle it all the way. So anyway, I want to know your guys' thoughts. Do you wish the NFL had all their games on TV? Do you like having Sunday Ticket? Or from a NFL perspective, if you're not, I'm sure most fans are all going to say, I wish I had all the games on TV. From an NFL perspective, from a business perspective, do you think the NFL is doing the right thing by having just 3 games on TV on Sundays and then sticking all their other games behind the NFL Sunday Ticket where they're making $2 billion, where they're selling rights deals at that same cost? So this other gentleman, which has not joined us yet in the chat, so college football he said, college football has 4 times as many teams as the NFL. It's not in the NFL's best interest to put games on Sunday on 7 different channels. the NFL is maximizing their potential, basically. And I basically said I disagree. I feel like they could be making more money. How much less would CBS and Fox be paying their NFL rights if they were on networks, sharing time with networks on Sundays? NBC, ESPN, ABC already have NFL rights. They don't need another package. I did not reply to that one. There were a couple different times he jumped in, so we went from there. And then I made the the comparison about the Olympics are only on one network, and the ratings are terrible. He said, don't make this about the Olympics. Media companies want some levels of exclusivity. I can understand that. I do understand that. But at the same time, if I'm the NFL and I'm trying to get the most bang for my buck, and a media company is like, well, you know, we don't want to share time with this other I'd say, okay, take a hike. I'll keep out there. If all these other companies, if Amazon, if whatever, if Google, if ABC, if NBC, if they're willing to say, okay, yeah, we want an NFL game on Sunday, we'll pay for it. And Fox says, well, no, we don't want to share. We're paying $2 billion, but we don't want to share. But NBC says, I'll pay you $1 billion and I'll share. And ESPN says, I'll pay you $2 billion for a game on ESPN, ESPN2, ABC, and we'll share with NBC. And Amazon says, I'll pay you $1 billion for a Sunday game and we'll share. Well, then I'm telling Fox, okay, take your $2 billion and take a hike. There's other networks that'll pay for us. We don't need you. Get out of here, you know? So, yeah, anyway. That's just me, personal opinion we're throwing out. And then the guy said, do you really think the NFL isn't maximizing their audience? More importantly, it's the business. There's a reason CBS and Fox switch off with the doubleheader. Better to have the bigger audience every week. It's been like that for decades. So, good point. Has been like that for decades. Oh, nice tip there.
John Williams managed to disrupt things.
Then he's talking about Sunday Ticket, saying he hates the word paywall being used for Sunday Ticket. And he said, you really think the NFL is just going to give these games away for free? And I said, no, they're not giving the games away for free. I'm paying $80 in tax every month for YouTube TV to watch 3 NFL games. So no, oh my God, come on. No, the NFL is not giving games away for free, except on Thursdays where you can stream them on Twitch. And yeah, and you have to pay $80, $90, $100, depending on your package, to watch NFL games. So the NFL is a business. They're in it to make money. Should I read my replies or just let you guys go look at my replies? The NFL is a business. They're in it to make money. They would make less money with the solution that you have offered up. I'm not sure I agree with that. I am not sure I agree with that. I don't think they would get as much money from Fox and CBS. I do think that's true. If they went the route of giving everybody their own Sunday package, I don't think they would get the same $2 billion from Fox and CBS without a doubt. However, I think they would make more so from that from Luna just went crazy. I think they would make that tenfold, maybe not tenfold, but from having on other networks. I think they would make that $2 billion, whatever they may have lost, and then some by having a package on ABC. You know, letting Fox, hey, we'll give you 2 games, Fox and FS1. Hey, TBS, you want to get in the mix here? You can have a game. You know, Turner Networks can buy oh my God, that's terrible. You know, I think they would make back, like, they wouldn't get $2 billion from Fox, $2 billion from CBS, but they would, they call that a touchback, okay. They would be able to make that up by selling it to other networks. So, personal opinion there. I could be way off, as this gentleman on Twitter disagrees, but I want to hear what your guys' opinion and thought is on the same situation. Then he started talking about, I kind of mentioned like regional sports networks. Like that's kind of the deal with, you know, regional sports networks are dying. Bally's is going out of business left and right. Meanwhile, I got 8 people that like my original tweet. So Bally's Sports, they're going out of business left and right. And I think it's the same dated model as, you know, when I grew up with baseball, You had the Braves on network TV. You had, not network TV, but oh, those numbers. You had the Braves on every day. You had the Cubs on every day. They made, local TV, national TV deals. And, now you're lucky you get one or two baseball games, a Sunday night game, whatever. And all the other games, you have to sign up for MLB TV, and as a Rays fan, I can't even watch the Rays games in Florida because they're all blacked out. So look at this. Oh my God, this team is killing me. This team is killing me.
Didn't have anybody on him, and yet he couldn't make the catch.
That would have been a big play and a big first down.
They're trying. Mark Bulger's trying.
Third down, 3 wideouts in the game.
There we go to T.O. I got to start, I think, getting in the habit of switching to the receivers and making the catch for them. So that's my rant. If the user that we are interacting with on Twitter, again, open invitation, join us in the chat. The chat will pop up on the screen. We're happy to have you. Yeah, it was a good, lively discussion. Agree to disagree. I understand where he's coming from with the NFL being a business, but from a fan perspective, I think they would get more popular if they had more games on TV. I think that's why college football has been, I know NFL is up there, but for many years, college football, they were outgunning, oh, here we go! For the first time this season, the Washington Commanders have scored double-digit points.
Play right here. Snags the football and then really turns on the juice.
A nice run after
Dallas Clark.
and that's a big plus coming from your
The curse is broken, and Mark Bulger may be saving his season. J.P. Lossman, the young man, he was getting warmed up. He might have to sit back down. And funny enough, this is the team we did our practice game with when we did the Bengals and the Bears, when I had my nostalgia hit for NFL 2K5. It was the Bears that we won against, so maybe I'm just good against the Bears. Maybe we need to play the Bears every week.
And we're set. Anderson doesn't get a lot of leg behind this one. Hauser fields the short kick at the 17. Tackled at the 33. Peter, interesting order to the division, isn't there?
Oh, you bet.
Well, they're Chicago, so they're 2-2. So they're kind of battling for first place right now.
Kevin Hauser got a few yards off the run back there. Add that to the somewhat shallow kick, and that's a pretty good job by the special teams.
14-14. I love it. I haven't seen this in forever. Hasselback and Bulger just having a showdown for the ages. Hasselback fires that one over the middle and completes the pass.
Got the first down and a whole lot more.
Check that out. Those last year numbers are solid.
Hasselback was good for a time. Got the Seahawks. Matt Hasselback should be a Super Bowl champion. And I can say that also as a bitter Cardinals fan. Steelers cheated to win Super Bowl 40 and Super Bowl 43.
Goes in motion.
Trying to get people to jump off sides there. We got to keep Westbrook contained. He had that big run that he rattled off. There's Lovey. They were coming off the Super Bowl, right? Wasn't 05 the Bears and Colts? Weren't they coming off? Or am I way too ahead of everything? Or was that coming up? Oh, here, let's
It's tipped. Incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
Mike Rump came in and got a hand on that football.
Let's
and left
see.
no chance for a reception there.
2005 Super Bowl.
Tell you, we've seen a number of good defensive plays.
I think I'm about 2 years ahead of schedule because the 05 Super Bowl was Eagles-Patriots. Then the next year would have been that Steelers Super Bowl. And then the year after was Bears and Colts. So, I guess we'll field it this time. Well, it was a touchback before. Well, that was a mistake. That's what I get for being on Wikipedia instead of fielding punts. Okay. Maybe Corey Dillon will get something here. He's had another slow game. Slow outing with the running attack. It may just be, you know, take this one to the half with a tie game.
Tony Brackens was a one-man wrecking crew back there. He powered into the backfield and made the...
So the unfortunate thing, as we said with this game, we want to let the time wind down. There is no clock acceleration here, so we just got to kind of sit for 20 seconds. But yeah, let's put a capper on the thoughts on the Twitter discussion. And let me know your thoughts on the NFL. Is the NFL... while they're raking in billions, that can't be denied, are they leaving money on the table and popularity and more eyes seeing their games by not having all of their games on TV every week and trying to compete with themselves on all the various networks? Let me know your thoughts. As the time will tick down, tradition here at TV Sports 27, we're going to let Chris Berman recap, which for us has been a very successful first half. And then we'll see you guys for the second half at TV Sports 27.
Boomer?
Take it away, Boomer.
All right, Dan, we'll get back to you in a bit. But welcome, everybody, to the ESPN Halftime Show. I'm Chris Berman. Look at our halftime stats here, and boy, look at the difference in passing yards. The Redskins should be way ahead on the scoreboard, but somehow they've let their opponent hang with them. Let's see if they can change things in the second half. Let's get started in this one early in the first quarter. Mark Bolger would find his target on this one. Redskins towards the end of the first quarter, this time at the 2. Corey Dillon was able to make things pay off on the ground. A 1-yard touchdown for the Redskins. The Bears, still late in the first. Bears behind by 7. Ryan Westbrook is going to show a little athleticism here as he finds an opening, and then look at him go. He's off to the races. They tie it up, 7-all. Redskins later in the second. John Moms Mobley going to have a beat on this one. It's a fumble. He's right there to get his hands on it. Touchdown for the Bears. Skins losing 14-7. Matt Hasselbeck connected with his man on this one. Redskins midway through the second. The Redskins with possession at the 37-yard line. Dallas Clark makes him pay. He's running a deep route, and this ball is right where it needs to be. A 37-yard touchdown for the Redskins. The Bears still midway through the second. Game tied 14-all. Matt Hasselbeck would drop back and deliver a strike on this one. And that's where we'll leave this one. Bears are keeping it evened up. We're tied 14-all. Time now for our Halftime Hero Award, which recognizes the most dominant player of the first half. Duh. This time there can be no question. Ryan Westbrook has been unstoppable. So that does it for our halftime report. We'll send you back now to the second half of this one. Dan Stevens and Peter O'Keefe are there. Gentlemen.
Thanks, Boomer, and welcome back to our broadcast presented in ESPN Game Sound. Designed and developed in collaboration with Dolby, the leader in surround sound.